Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here once again, and today I have a brand new Tribes of Midgard video for you. This one is showing off some tips and tricks for beginners as you jump into the game. Now, if you don't know, this game just launched. It's a top-down ARPG with survival elements, base building factors mixed in there as well. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously and shows you want to see more content like this. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there, and I could not thank you guys more. It is so appreciated. I can't wait to hit this goal. I'm bursting out of my seams here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and now let's jump into the video. There are two main modes in Tribes of Midgard. First off, you have your Saga mode. This is going to be quest-based. You're going to survive for a set number of days, advance the quest, do various objectives in order to ultimately fight the Saga boss at the very end. Each season is going to have a different Saga boss, so you're going to want to take them on each season to earn various rewards. Now, you can play in a group of up to 10, or you can play solo, and it's going to provide a very, very different experience. I'm going to explain that as I jump into the gameplay a little bit later, and why personally I feel like this game is best played in a group. Now, there is matchmaking, so if you don't have friends to play with, you can match with other players. There's in-game voice chat as well, so that's something to keep in mind. The other mode is survival. This is basically a free-for-all in which you just try to survive for as long as possible. There's even a challenge to survive for over 100 days for those who are brave enough to take on that. And it's something that you can do if you just want to play the game without worrying about the quests or anything of that nature, and just see how far you can go, test your skill at Tribes of Midgard. You're going to want to pay close attention to your challenges in Tribes of Midgard for two main reasons. First off, that's how you unlock other classes. You start with 2 classes at the beginning, and then as you progress throughout the game, you'll unlock the other ones if you take on certain challenges. So if there's a specific class that you want to unlock, you're going to have to do it through the challenges. The other reason is that your achievement challenges and saga challenges will unlock not only cosmetics, but also advantages in-game, such as starter kits and craftable runes and weapons that you'll need in order to progress further. They're not absolutely necessary, but they're super helpful if you're going to be taking on the endgame and ultimately fighting the final boss. I mentioned the starter kits. You're going to want one of these equipped at all times, and the reason for that is you will be able to start the game every time you load up with a preset loadout. Now, this could be armor and weapons, this could be runes, potions, whatever the case may be. You're going to have to look at the starter kit to see which one suits your needs best, but always want one of those equipped in order to start the game with a little bit of a leg up, and that is why I advise everybody to unlock them as soon as possible to pick the starter kit that you really want to kick the game off with. Make sure you check the store every few days. The reason being, there's going to be unlockable blueprints for you to craft in-game that you can purchase with the in-game currency. Now, these are going to be anything from weapons to runes, and they're going to be super helpful if you launch a saga mode or survival mode. So you're going to want to just check and see if there's anything that you really want to unlock each couple days in the store. Some quick notes to keep in mind as you load in the game. First off, you can pet your companions, so that is something I highly recommend all the time. Now, you're going to want to find the best way to farm materials. One thing that if you don't have any kind of axe or equipment to chop down trees, the tools, you can actually use your triangle attack on PlayStation, your power attack, and chop them down pretty easily, so that's something to keep in mind. You can take fall damage. That's something I've seen a lot of people die from in this game. And I'm going to show you the toughest enemy in all of Tribes of Midgard. The water. This thing has killed me more than any giant, any enemy, any other thing in the entire game. Be aware of that. If you accidentally roll into the water, it can kill you. It will kill you every time, and it's very unfortunate. Combat is pretty simple. You have your basic attacks and as well as your heavier charge attacks. You also will get blessing points when leveling up, as you would expect in a RPG. You'll go to your blessings. Here's where you'll be able to pick one of the classes that you do have unlocked. You start with the ranger or the warrior, and then you can unlock other classes as you go along. Each of them has their own perks, their own advantages, their own skill tree. So make sure when you pick them, you're picking the one that's going to suit your needs for that particular playthrough. This one, you can see, has better shields and more of a tank character. You'll unlock these various skills as you play the game and level up. On the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the gathering ingredients to prepare yourself quest. That is the first thing that you're going to need to do until one of the giants spawns. Now, this is important because you can use your gear, your materials to do a variety of things. You can craft better armor and weapons. You can build your base up, whether it's your gate. There's also these archer towers up here as well that you're going to want to construct as you go along. And you can donate your souls in order to upgrade your NPCs as well. And they'll provide better gear, more advanced items for you to unlock. There will be a community war chest. All of your materials can go in there because when you're in the base, you can actually use any of the ingredients in order to craft various items. You can place all. Very simple. You also want to be aware of the repair bench because it's going to be necessary a lot as you get advanced items and you want to keep them. Now, pay attention to the alerts on the screen. Health things will appear soon. This is vital to watch because in the beginning, at night, you're going to have health things attack your base. They're not super challenging. However, when a blood moon rises, that means you're going to get these mini bosses that are going to spawn with the health things, and they are much more difficult. It's going to be more of a team effort unless you can really solo it. Don't forget there's also a quest board. You're going to get various rewards such as souls, quest fragments, mana elixirs, etc. if you take on these quests, and I would highly recommend grabbing one of those right away. Oftentimes, what you'll see is they are very far from your starting zone, and you're going to want to journey towards them eventually. I just hit level 3. And now you have to defend your village. Make sure that no enemies reach your tree. Because what will happen then, if they do enough damage, you can see in the top right-hand corner how much souls your tree has, 6,012. If these enemies reach your tree and destroy it, the game is over. You have lost. The enemies are not overly difficult in the beginning. Just be aware that you just have to take them down as quickly as possible. Your NPCs will also help you, and as you level them up, they will become stronger. So not only will you get better gear from leveling them up, but they'll also be stronger in defense of your village. Once you've survived for another day, this is a good opportunity to not only explore your base and see what the various NPCs do, but also go find new waypoints where you can fast travel in the world. Now you've got Dagny the Sirius who can heal you. This is on cooldown, so be aware of that. She'll only heal you for every few minutes. Then you've got the blacksmith, which you can craft different weapons. From here, there's also the armor, shields, armor, etc. The trapper, you can craft potions and traps. Be aware that you can fill up those slots. You can only carry 4 traps and potions combined at a time. The shrine, the fast travel to any unlocked fast travel spot, which we don't have any currently, so that's something we need to work on. And finally, we've got the tinker, who will give you an axe, pickaxe, in order to use those tools to harvest various items. You can also get building materials. The ramps are super important as you're trying to get to high grounds for certain bonuses and chests. You got ammunition, arrows, which you can not only use yourself, but also put into your archer towers for use. And then finally, ingredients. You can upgrade your wooden boards, cut stone, wrought iron. All of that is going to be super important as you get later into the game. I don't see folks use these a lot, but you can rebuild farms, lumber yards, and quarries as well. These are going to help you passively generate materials. Now, as you've seen, a Jotun has appeared in the world. This means a giant is now moving towards your base. It is vital that you find the giant as quickly as possible. The reason being, oftentimes what happens is I've seen players wait until it's too late. The giant is too close. You can't whittle down their health points because they have a ton before it's too late and they're already attacking, because they will do massive damage to your base if you let them get far enough. There are several biomes to be aware of, such as a desert, a winter ice biome. Now, you are going to want to be aware of multiple things. One, sometimes those biomes will be very, very challenging. And two, you will take damage over the course of time if you enter them without a potion. So be aware that you're going to need a potion to explore different parts of the world, because not all of them are accessible unless you have a lot of health or an ability to heal yourself passively. So keep that in mind for sure. Now, be aware you're going to want to activate shrines all over the world. However, there's normally going to be enemies nearby, so if you're not ready to fight them, you have to be very, very careful, because they will consistently attack you while you're by a shrine. Don't forget to use your dodge button quite a bit, because it will save your life pretty much all the time if you're under leveled for a certain area as well. As you get deeper into the game, once you hit day 14, that's when things really ramp up, and you will hit Fimbulwinter, which will have a full couple days of enemies attacking your village non-stop. It's pretty insane. You'll also be taking cold damage anywhere outside of your base, so you need to keep that in mind, because it is pretty hectic. It's kind of crazy, and you're going to want to complete your quest before that if you really want to make it towards the end and take on Fenrir. Now, once you find the giant, you're going to want to start whittling down its health, because as you can see, they are super tanky. They have over 100,000 hit points for the most part. Depending on how many players you have, it could be more or less, but it's pretty insane, and you're not going to be able to defeat it in one go. You're also going to want to dodge its attacks as often as possible, especially in the beginning. Now, as you get later in the game, second, third, fourth giants will have more hit points and more attacks. So you really have to be careful. Now, a couple ideas: you use effigies in order to get speed boosts or heals. You can drop trip mines on the ground if you want to trigger traps, all that kind of good stuff. But it is going to be time consuming unless you have a full team attacking the giant all at once with various abilities and endgame gear, because if you don't do that, it's going to be a very difficult task. I will say, don't get yourself killed as you're doing this. Just try to whittle it down piece by piece. If you need to go back and heal up before you take it completely down, do that, because just like here, you're not going to want to die and lose all of your souls, lose your progress, especially if you don't have anyone to revive you, because it is going to be a bit of an issue, and you're going to lose all the souls you've earned, and you're going to have to come back for your gear. All of that leads me to another issue, and that is to not stack your souls too much, because if you die, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get those souls back. All of your other items, your stash, your materials, all of that can be reobtained if you drop in battle, but your souls are gone forever. So keep that in mind and don't have too many on you at a time unless you're going for a specific challenge or you need them for a reason, in which case I would say be very cautious. One thing I will definitely mention is you can hold down the attack button in order to auto attack, but be careful because as you're doing combos, it's harder to dodge. So you can get caught under foot quite a bit if you're not careful just by auto attacking. During the Blood Moon attack, you're going to want to find the mini boss as quickly as possible because they do a unbelievable amount of damage to your tree if you're not careful. So they need to be taken down as soon as possible. You'll see it down here on the map. That we have different symbols. And yeah, that thing blew up on my tree right there, for example. And then if you come down even farther, you'll see the mini boss. So be aware of that. They are going to do extraordinary amounts of damage to your tree if you're not careful. And that's going to do it for my tips and tricks when you're beginning Tribes of Midgard. Make sure you upgrade your armor and weapons early and often. That's going to help the game be a lot easier as you progress. Pay attention to your quests. Pay attention to the alerts that pop up because they will tell you what needs to be done next. And I feel like a lot of times players just go off on their own, explore everything they can, and they ignore defending the base, they ignore the giant, they ignore this, that, and the other, and it will lead you to losing the game if you're not careful. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, comment below, let me know what you want me to see cover next, whether it's a guide to beating the endgame boss, builds for various characters and classes, anything like that. Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out. My name is JoPaWrites, and I'll catch you all